Óðsmál, the key to the abyss of spirituality, ancient Norse heritage, myths and poems, profound science of consciousness, allegory, symbolic language, etymon, and the true ancient understanding rediscovered. Of the 24 chapters, this is the chapter 4, Þjóðvitnir and his target group. Gleipnir, as compared to Drómi and Læðingur, literacy and symbolic language of myths and kvæði, sacred poems, spot the allegory in God's spells. I'm telling thee one thing, we are Ginnungagap. We are the great void, the womb of the universe, the fullness, truth, eternity, reality, divinity. Óðinn given to Óðinn, myself given to myself, Hávamál, vísa 138 and on, gnóð því sé áton, know thyself, the real philosophy. How great a noise does the cat make when it walks? Gleipnir, the bonds that hold evil, is made from the noise of the cat's treading, the sinews of the bear, the spittle and breath of fish and birds, the roots of the mountain, a woman's beard, so many intangible subtle things, worldly, found in the sphere of Mother Nature and made by the dwarfs. Gleipnir is our good evolutionary deeds, but Drómi and Læðingur, sloth and drowsiness, carelessness and lack of responsibility, are useless in holding Fenrir, Fenris Úlfur, the accumulated evil actions of men. Domestic animals often perform tedious work for us, are our slaves. Being a slave is bad, but being a willing servant is good. We should not be slaves to our longing and work, but should serve evolution, perform Valkyria each day, enjoy a beautiful life in freedom. Freedom is being free from bonds of matter. We do not understand this, as we have never been free in this real meaning of the concept. But one day we will. That is the day when we come permanently to Valhöll. Tyr is right action. He is responsibility. He is pure conscience, the correct and divine sense of right and wrong. Tyr is divine law, not man-made incomplete law. Tyr is the purity of perfect law in accord with the laws of nature that run the whole universe perfectly. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the greatest scientist of our age, calls natural law the constitution of the universe. When we sacrifice our individuality into the great abyss of existence, we gain the properties of Tyr, the god of righteousness and altruism, the contrary to egoism, unselfishness, selflessness. An enlightened man lives for the sake of others only. He lives not for his egoistic purposes, as he has no such ambitions. The constitution of the universe, total natural law, is divine, like Tyr, perfection, orderliness, righteousness. When we practice the technique, the delicate and powerful mental technique to transcend, TM, we get expanded to the limitless. We are Ginnungagap exclusively. We find Glavheimur of Óðinn, the unbounded consciousness. Know that gladness and wideness, unbounded width, are inherent in gleði, gleiður, and know contact with Brahman to be joy. Þöll þú stendur þorpi á, a tree that stands alone on a hill, is not sheltered when winds blow. We might be happy when worldly things seem to go our way, but the only real resistance against the ups and downs in life is to gain fimbulrúnir. Them we gain by performing a Valkyria, transcending. This is how gruggur, filth, ignorance, stress, is gotten rid of by performing a Valkyria, transcend. Ignorance leaves us. We purify ourselves, every our body cell, via viksla, by transcending. Note, waking, sleeping, dreaming are three states of consciousness that we know. The fourth is the transcendental state, and there are still higher ones, such as the next one, cosmic consciousness, Valhöll. Stress is produced when we are frightened or worried. It is good for animals to have the extra adrenaline to enable them to fight or flee on moments of peril. By running, they use it and sieve it out. In us, it's useless. in our sheltered life, and it accumulates. What is meant as means to save a life is, in man, the very stuff to corrode the body it was meant to salvage. Accumulated stress, unused flee, flight, clut. Inferiority complex, megalomania, egocentrism and other stupid things that come from comparison with others and their things in life are not good for our own purity. Refer to thyself, the evolving individual that thou art. That should be a good comparison to what thou art now and thy intentions for the next step. In the self-referral state of consciousness is found the best podium for us to purify ourselves, ridding us of the unnecessary comparison with the Jones next door. We do not need that criterion on ourselves. Our norms is the normal for us on our evolutionary path. I am so deep, so profound in myself that I am self-sufficient, self-contained, and Mother Nature cares for my needs. If I give her back by transcending, thus living in the flow with the flawless orderliness of the laws of nature. If I do not give her back by performing my Valkyria, I am a mere thief. We might assume that dying, getting rid of this life on earth, would be a solution to troubles. The seeds are in the bag, not noticed. But it's not so, because the vicious cycle of desire, action, impression, desire, action, impression, desire is kept as a seed of memory and sprouts in our next ivy lifespan. Our new brain might not know, and we call it fate in order to free ourselves of responsibility. Too cheap. I shall have to explain what was meant as an explanatory drawing. This stupid picture is meant to indicate our jumps from hell to earth life. The only way to get out of it, rise above it, is to start performing a Valkyria and do that every day for a little span of time. Then work and sleep and play will be richer, and desire will be of a more refined nature, evolutionary desires. Þjóðvitnir, his new role in Óðsmál in the vanity business, sees to it that there are objects of the senses all around, and to them the senses get attached. The mistake of our intellect, explained by Þjóðvitnir, and the lure of matter is invisible to us, until we become Sága, the CRS in Valhall. We cannot blame him for feeding our senses because he is unreal, our ignorance, and should not be there at all, but it is. Odin, in the guise of an eagle, the green one there, got the meat of wisdom from Gunnlöð. Some of it got into Ásgarður, but out of the rear end came skáldfífla hlutur, caught by those who think they are bards, but speak empty flowery words about the sphere of life that I do not fathom. Völsi and nibl, völsungar, niblungar, phallic and nebula, fog. And these skáldfífl are the target group of Þjóðvitnir in Óðsmál. Below the green line, animals, paradisos, and the animal states carried into human life is Gemisgarðar. We do not see that we are Þjóðvitnir's fish, the grey zone. So we are an easy prey, thou canst see. Odin, as the eagle, the meat of wisdom, guarded by Gunnlöð Hnitbjörg, given to Odin for his love. Skáldfífl, the grey people left on the left. The gods in Ásgarður, right. Here green, the green on the bottom are animals. Remember that they act according to their nature without possessing free will. Fish in grey, men that get attached to the object of the senses and see not truth itself, the easy prey of luring matterfield. Top, hugin, yogin, and munin, muni, getting enlightened, living in Valhall with Odin. Here we see why we do not see Þjóðvitnir in his role in Óðsmál. So we easily take his bait, happy go happy. The seed is a very normal thing to us, containing information for the future. How precise the symbolic language of myths when they use nuts and seeds to explain the memory taken from ivy to ivy, lifespan to lifespan. Heathen men and all other men go to Valhall fully alive as ein herjar, which is an exalted state of consciousness, cosmic consciousness. They drink honeymead, flow of life, with Odin, symbol of wisdom. From this our ancient metaphor was stolen or borrowed the distortion of sitting at the table with Jesus Christ after the death of a body. And worse, the one lifespan only was invented by a few men in southern Europe in order to create pressure and convert men. Time pressure and threat as, running out of time, hellfire waiting to consume the non-church members. Dvityadeva bhayam bhavati. The duality certainly brings fright. That is, the world is all dualities, hot cold, good bad, opposites, extremes, uncertainty. This is the very cause for our worries and insecurity feeling. If we get rid of three guna, the three qualities of nature that dominate the created world, then we enter a sphere of no duality, peace, stability, the oneness, end of Ginnungagap. We are that in current essence. We enter into ourself, which counts for coming home. The staff of the Good Shepherd is no security. That institutional stuff is all in the field of duality and fear. Do not trust those who promise you to guard thee. They might be using flowery words and lofty promises, but actually serving egoistic purposes only. The white spots are supposed to show the sphere of non-duality, Ginnungagap. We should get out of the field of the three guna every now and then to stabilize ourselves by the contact of Odin, individual Odin, with Odin, unbounded consciousness, who is not two, but one and the same. Myself becoming myself, I giving to me, Odin to Odin, ancient heathen advice, the pathless path to the self-referral state. Valhall, a stage of consciousness of an enlightened man. He no longer in the target group of Þjóðvinir. Valhall is a stage of consciousness of a living man, an ein herji.